Good evening. The Ranter is back again to do another rambling diatribe of the news of the day. This is going to be a short one because I only have one little piece of information to go through here. Okay? And this really is more of a mending of a previous video. And from that, I am referring to the video that I did concerning Brittney Griner being released in a prison exchange with her and the arms dealer. And what I had said during that, which I'm going to be amending, is about Paul Whelan, where, as I said, that he wasn't a spy, and then he was a Marine, and he was a good man, good family, etc., etc. Now, clearly, I just, had the point of saying that just so that, just to make sure I was being fair to the point of those who were saying that, oh, he should be the one that should have been released. I mean, he was more worthy in this and that, and admittedly, the little that I heard about him outside of him being arrested on the charges in Russia of spying, that that I thought that he wouldn't be spying. No, that this would be yet another one of the trump-up charges that the Russians put on American people that they had captured, like the same thing they did with Brittney herself for a few squirts of CBD oil that was prescribed to her. It's not as if she was going in there with pot or anything. But be that as it may, what I would later find out is that Paul, though was a Marine, yes, however, Paul, prior to being arrested in Russia, had been dishonorably discharged from the United States Marine Corps for felony theft. Made several unexplained trips to Russia thereafter, and admitted carrying a flash drive with secret information about Russia border guards when he was arrested for espionage, claiming he thought the flash drive given to him by his Russian friend was containing holiday photos. Okay? So, again, this is just a little quick tidbit here, but my take on that is, for everybody who was saying that he was more deserving to come home as opposed to a civilian with no geopolitical significance to her, just because he was a Marine, maybe they didn't do as much research as I did, or they did as much as I did, right? So you would rather someone who was dishonorably discharged from the Marine Corps for theft and did have evidence of him committing espionage, whether he actually did or not, but still had it on him. Well, if you think that is still more worthy than a civilian with, again, no political experience, no political significance whatsoever, who for pretty much is being held hostage and imprisoned for these trumped up charges, due to the fact that by the time that she was arrested, we started our direct assistance to Ukraine when Russia started to invade it. Some of you on Twitter who say that he was more worthy than her, some of you all made it quite clear where your real stances was, because some of you happened to say something to the effect of, oh, well, if he was black, gay, and a woman, they ticked off that woke checklist, and he would be the one that was freed. That is more telling about you than it is about anything else that's going on here. So here what we're going to do here. The one thing I'm not going to amend from what I said is that I still stay to the point that he should come home. That I think all Americans, in whatever state of being of how they've been imprisoned, should come home. However, I'm going to humbly point out that he is no more deserving to come home than she was. And some of you who felt the need to go have a wild hair up your ass saying that she shouldn't come home, that he should come home, he was more deserving to come home more than her, and stated her demographic, stated her sexual orientation as reasons, and that she hates America, as all the reasons why she, a civilian, should be rotting in a foreign prison while he should be coming home. His family made it public that they agreed with the switch. Not that they have nothing against Paul or anything, but given the situation at hand, that it is better to make the choice and bring an American home than not. And again, for those who are clutching the pearls over the release of Victor, because he was a merchant of death and he's a pretty significant arms dealer. I mean, hell, Lords of War was adapted from his story. Again, like the last time I discussed this issue, we are probably going to keep tabs on him. And we have the significant technology to do so. So, are you really saying that any American, and let's start with Brittney, should stay in jail in a foreign land to keep him? Because, as I said last time around, you keep propping this guy up, then maybe Paul would not be a good deal in exchange. So you would want to keep Paul in prison, too, in order to keep Victor away from Russia. Is that what I'm hearing here? I don't know. But again, despite him being dishonorably discharged for theft and the implications of him actually doing a little spying might actually be real, or at least a pretty powerful suspicion, nonetheless, as an American, he should come home as anyone, as we would want any of our prisoners held in foreign lands to come home. I don't understand people sometimes. I don't understand the callous thinking of people. I mean, on paper, when you coldly calculate it, and you can say to yourself, yeah, this is not a good deal, we need to keep him, this isn't a good deal, and you coldly just make the sacrifice to keeping an American like Brittney Griner or Paul Whelan in prison in Russia to make sure this guy does not come back to Russia. That's great when you're looking at it from the 30,000 mile in the air view, looking down on this cold and calculating on paper. What about Brittney's family? What about Paul's family? I'm so glad all of you who feel this is not a good deal feels that it's okay to sacrifice these people, keep them there rotting in order to keep this guy here. And a little stake of whataboutism, because people were blaming Biden for this trade back and forth, and how dangerous Victor is. How many thousands of Taliban fighters that Trump released that none of you gave a shit about? That gave a little golf clap of how, oh, that's great, that's so great. Because it's part of the peace process, that we're freeing them, so that things will be better when we leave Afghanistan. Though Trump planned our leaving of Afghanistan, Biden implemented it, so it's all Biden's fault, right? Because it was always going to be a shit show. But let's blame Biden for the thing that Trump planned. Yeah, okay. So enough about that. And again, this is just short and sweet. Just a reminder for you all who believe that Brittney is not worthy to come home to her family. And Paul was. So I will take your point. I'll take your word that you think a Marine was dishonorably discharged for theft, who had the evidence on him that points to him committing espionage, is more worthy to come home than a civilian who you believe is only freed because of woke politics. Something's wrong here. And I think you all should be avoiding mirrors. At least for the next few days. See you later.